Okay, let's talk about, let's pause there right here on this slide here. So hand placement, strikeable, stepping in. So I'm going to unshare my screen because I want to show you guys some things. So we were having I don't know. When I first went into the wing tee, I wasn't going to question anything. Okay. These guys are smarter than me. The offense has been around for 50 years. The guy who taught it to me, Randy Blankenship, said, Rick, why would you start tinkering with it? You've got coaches that used to run this at the D1 level. You've got state championship coaches. They've already thought through all these things you're questioning. And if these were good solutions, they would have already put them in, right? So, and that made sense to me. Why reinvent the wheel? The thing freaking works, right? I crack up on the internet, these guys tinkering with the wing tee, and all they're doing is they're just drawing plays. They're not running the wing tee. The wing tee is a philosophy. It's not formations. It's not plays. Oh, two linemen pull. That's buck sweep. They're running wing tee. No, they're not. They just pull two linemen. But the wing tee is a philosophy of look-alike blocking concepts, and it's a philosophy of look-alike backfield actions, and it's a philosophy of putting people in conflict. Now, RPOs, I think, fits into the wing tee philosophy. You're putting people in conflict, whether you're running the RPO in the wing tee offense or the spread offense. Okay. So I didn't question base. So we were thumb in the belly button. Let's get after it. That's a very unnatural block for kids. It's a very hard block for kids. So then I went the full other spectrum. Tim Murphy talked me into it. And we took this flipper here and we said, let's turn this into a T-Rex flipper right here. Keep your elbow tight, okay? And then punch right here because we wanted the contact to still be with the shoulder, and we were going to punch like this. We didn't want to hit you like this because now I'm using the weakest muscle in the body, which is the tricep. We told the kids, get in tight. We went and bought the radiator hoses. Actually, we got the black hoses. I guess my line coach found them. You put them in washing machines or dryers. It was a dryer belt off. And he bought them on. The kids would put them on, and they would come down, and the belt would come around real tight, and it would wrap them around. Other coaches, I've given this talk before, they've said they've just taken old pant belts with the metal loops, and they've wrapped around, and it makes the kid keep his elbow in tight for the T-Rex flipper. And we were doing that. So what happens on down block, ear hole to belly button, so my helmet's in front, and I'm slamming you right here. I'm trying to attack the hips. Boom, right there. This hand would punch the V of the neck, and I would try to land it somewhere right here. Now, remember, my helmet's here, so I'm kind of landing right here. I'm trying to push the shoulder pads up into his chin like this. And then this one, obviously, I don't have the hose in the game. Then I'm going to extend, and I'm down here, so I'm trying to extend up. And now I'm trying to get this D lineman stood up like that, okay? Sounded great in theory. Kids liked it. They were more comfortable. We weren't as aggressive on our down blocks, okay? We weren't as aggressive on our down blocks. Where I've evolved to now is if I've got a younger new player, young meaning he's new to football, might be a senior first-year player, I'm going to have him go to the flipper and let's go. And I want him to get really good at that. And when I feel like, whether that season or the following season, that he's got the shoulder down, he's making contact with the shoulder, then I'll let him switch to the T-Rex flipper. The biggest coaching point when you tell them that they're going to down block with their hands is you don't want that separation because that's not an aggressive block. You want the first block here. What reinforced me was, this was several years ago, my first third head coaching job, 2007. I inherited an offensive line coach who had 4 years with the Bengals. He's Anthony Muniz's backup. He was Pac-12 All-American, Arizona State. He, at the time, had the NFL Combine record for most reps on the bench press in the NFL Combine. And then he had a cup of coffee with the Patriots, blew his shoulder out, played a year in Arena Football League. Then we inherited him. He came back home, and he was a substitute teacher of all things. I'm thinking, this guy, NFL, right? And at the Bengals, I think his coach was the legendary Jim McNally. So we went through this, and it really made me feel good. He says, no, even at the NFL level, when we down block and we want to just blow the guy up, we use our shoulders. The contact's supposed to be the shoulders. Same thing with the double teams. So I do think that there's a time and a place for the shoulder. I think the younger kids, you just teach this until they understand that concept and they really can get in there and squeeze it. and then their advanced players can go here, okay? We absolutely will use our hands on any second level blocks, like linebacker blocks, and we definitely will probably use our hands right from the beginning on reach blocks. Let me show you something. If I'm going to reach block to the right, that's really a left shoulder block. What's my first step on a left shoulder block? Opposite foot, opposite shoulder roll. My first step is with the right foot. So it matches my philosophy. So on a reach rod block, the first step is with the right foot, and I'm going to make contact with the left shoulder. Now, because it's a reach block, though, we definitely are going to go T-Rex flipper, and I'm going to make this contact here and get this helmet on this side of the D lineman, right, in a perfect world, and then I'm going to take this hand, get it on his outside shoulder pad, and then maneuver him, right? So there are some times when you're going to use your hands and times you use shoulders. On our interior pulls, on guard trap, tackle trap, where we're kicking out like 3 techs and 4 eyes and 4s, we definitely are going to explode in with our shoulder. Some kids like using the T-Rex, but they come in hard. But the kids really on the pulls, they really like coming through like this and kind of doing a forearm rip with the shoulder and then forearm ripping on through. Gary McPete and I had a really long talk, almost 2 hours long, when I was asking him to do this talk. And I really felt good of somebody of his caliber when he said, "Coach, I do both." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, there's some blocks you use your shoulder, there's some blocks you use your hands." And I said, "You got to do that talk." And that was supposed to be tonight's talk. He's much more knowledgeable than mine, but it made sense for me. So pulling, we are shoulder forearm. Down block, younger kids, shoulder forearm, older kids, T-Rex flipper. Anything second level, lettuce eaters and linebackers, we're going to use our hands. And log blocks, wrong shoulder. If they're going to squeeze us and we got a wrong shoulder, that's definitely a shoulder block. If that D lineman's coming at me full speed and he's squeezing like he's supposed to, I don't want to take that on with my hands. I'm gonna go where it's going to be a shoulder to shoulder, 2 rams and 2 rams up in the mountains, hitting their horns together. So that's kind of what we do. So because we still are going to use that shoulder, and there's a whole segment there, we do spend time in the preseason, not during the season. In the preseason, we'll spend time teaching those shoulder skills and how we do it. I've got some video coming up. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so what hand placement is, I think I've got a video coming up. There we go. So this video here, right now, I still put them on all 4s. I'm just trying to get them to, there we go. So this is just shoulder placement, right? How does this all fit? How does this work? Now, right now, this is an older video, so I know this, you don't. They are tipping their, lost my camera there. Okay, I'm assuming you guys can still see the video. I don't see myself. I disappear, which is probably a good thing. So whether you're going to go with the flipper underneath and hitting the bag with the forearm, or you're going to use your hands, we do both here. So right now they're coming through with the forearm. So they're making contact with their right forearm, their right shoulder, okay? In the beginning, they use their hands for placements, but I'm going to tell you what, I want to get to a point right away where this hand is also in the bag. So the only thing touching the ground, there's toes. And they freeze and they stay fitted up right here. And then I coach them up. They stay frozen. And I go around and coach them up. Now this is rapid fire. And on the third one, they stay frozen and they stay fit. This is the heel replaces toe that we talked about. So after I've taken them off all 4s, now I'm going to bring them up in a 2-point stance. Okay, heel replaces toe. There's the first step. Make sure they got flat back. Notice where I'm at. I always stand here because I want to make sure no helmets are coming up. There's the second step. See the frozen? Dang it. Let me back up a little bit. There was a coaching point there. So, boom. He overstrided a little bit. I'm being nitpicky here, but this left heel should have been even with the left toe. Okay. And the idea, what I'm reinforcing is that the foot should have hit the ground at the same time as the, whether you're going to do T-Rex or forearm, it doesn't matter. This is the number two thing that should be hitting. So I want 1, 2, shoulder is 3, and I want this fist coming through and making contact right there. So 4 things should be making contact at the same time. Then after they kind of get that, actually, there's another coaching point that I want to bring up. So what we'll do is right there. I say, okay, your left foot's in concrete. This left foot doesn't move. And I say back. He has to take this foot back here. So this toe should be even with this heel. So he goes back, puts his hands back in the holsters. Then he comes forward. I say back, hit, back, hit, back, hit. In practice, guys, it's like the movie, The Matrix movie. I need you going in slow motion, just over and over, teaching that muscle memory, and this left foot never moves. I do the same thing on the down blocks, just so they understand, how do I fit on that second step? Then from the 2-point stance, when they hit it, I want them to freeze in the bag. I want them to freeze in the bag and stay low. There's the down block. Heel still replace his toe. Heel still replace his toe. And there's the finish. This kid here is not doing a very good job, though, because, okay, then the down block. I'm sorry, that's not the down block. Let me back up here. So this kid here, well, actually was an all-league lineman, Rodolfo. So when he down blocked right there, yeah, this is bad coaching by me. I don't do this anymore. This is why I said those DVDs with Championship Productions, they really rushed me through that. They showed up in the spring. We weren't ready. He takes his first step on the down block. This second step should be coming all the way through and landing right here, because his left heel should be even with his right toe on this down block. These kids, see, his left foot never came forward, so he's overstriding. Look at his left foot's not forward. This is bad. This is bad. I'm gonna have to replace this video. I'm embarrassed by this. Yeah, no way. That left foot cannot stay back like that. That left foot has to come forward, and his chest needs to be on his thigh, because the third step now is elevating. We're gonna try to pick this guy up and pancake him. Now, whether you're doing hands or shoulders, I would still teach these blocks. Now I'm going to go what we call hit and run drill. So now they're going to do the on block. And if they're on Homer's Dairy, they drive at 5 and they turn at 5. Okay? Drive at 5, turn 5. And see the buzzword? That's our other buzzword. Hit right, turn right. We tell our kid, whatever shoulder you hit with, that's the way you turn your man on any block. There was a wrong shoulder log. This is a special pull. I told you that we don't want them to turn the hip around. That's what they do on boot and waggle, where they have to pull and get 4 yards depth and turn and take a picture. That's kind of a special type of pull that we do, where they're not doing it. Now here's our whole team. Pull left, hit left. Pull right, hit right. We put them on the boards. That's a down block. There's our escape. Let's see how that looked. Yep. Show your back, put both hands in the back. Grab grass, rip through, and then hit the linebacker with a wide base. That was not very good. And his teammates being lazy and let him get away with it. He should have been a lot lower when he came through there. This is our escape step. There's a horrible one. He took his lateral step, and look at his helmet rise. His helmet's rising on the first step. Your helmet can't rise until your third step on any block. Your helmet cannot rise to your third step on any block. And now that his teammates being lazy. His teammate's not making his teammate better. He put his hands on his chest. In a game, that kid never would have got to the linebacker. So those are escape steps. This is how we call escape to backer. There we go. That's accurate. Doof did a good job making sure that he put his hands on that guy's chest and making him better. So that's how we take our kids through the first step is very important. How we take them through our shoulders and our hands.